So this is another thing I run through my fertigation. You can spray it also. If you spray it, you just need to mix it in hot water because it is thick. But I run blackstrap molasses. If you do this, you need to make sure it's unsulfured blackstrap molasses. The sulfur they use in these molasses that has sulfur in them actually kills the microbes. So what you're doing with this is you're trying to feed the microbes. So make sure it's unsulfured blackstrap molasses. It always gives a good green up. This particular brand right here, some of them's different, but this particular brand, I mean, it's got a lot of nutrients in it. It's got iron, magnesium, manganese, calcium, potassium, zinc, copper, carbohydrates. So this is basically almost like spraying micros. So you will definitely see a green up if you use this. And I mean, it's really good for the soil. You're adding microbes back to the soil. So, and I had somebody comment, they wanted to see how, I guess, I loaded my fertigation system up. So I'll cut this, and when I get out there to start doing this, we'll start it back up and I'll show you how I prime my fertigation system. Me also, since I am running it through fertigation, I run 2 gallons and I mix it in 3.5 gallons of water. So it's 5.5 gallons total. I mean, it's so thick I can't pump it straight through the fertigation, so I have to dilute it some. But yeah, I run 2 gallons of this. It's actually comes out to about 8 ounces per 1,000. You don't have to necessarily do that much. 4 ounces per 1,000 is fine. If this is the first app ever doing it, you might put down 8 ounces per 1,000, but 4 ounces after that per 1,000, you'll be good to go every month. Not really any use to do it when it gets cold. I mean, you're not, having microbial activity in the soil, so this is something, it can be done when the microbes start being active, spring, summer, fall. We're still 75 degrees here, so going to be 80s here towards the end of the week. So I just thought I'd show you this, and we'll get to loading the fertigation up. All right, so I got my tank loaded up with 3.5 gallons of water, and all I'm gonna do is just pour this in here. All right, so I got my 2 gallons of molasses and 3.5 gallons of water, and I'm just gonna take my drill and mix it up. Now I used hot water in this, so if you're going to spray this, you need to use hot water to mix this in. That way it'll help dilute it better and thin it out. The molasses is really thick. So this is the foot valve for the irrigation pump. It just goes in this tank, and so it just goes through here, runs up one side, the other side comes out, and it injects into the main line for my irrigation. Also, I think Pete at GCI, he sells an injection system that hooks to your backpack, and you can hook it up to a water hose, and it's almost like doing this fertigation. So I mean, you don't have to be accurate with this, just as far as applying it at like ounces per 1,000. I mean, it's not going to hurt anything. So you could buy that and kind of do the same way, or if you've got some way to do a fertigation system Easy Flow makes one. You can hook that to your irrigation system and do it like that also. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to prime this thing now, and I'll show you how to do that. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this valve up on the pump, take this syringe and the foot valves in this tank. So all I'm going to do is just pull it. It's probably going to be air or some water at first that comes out. If anything, see, it didn't get enough. So I'll just take this, pour it back into the jug, and now it should prime. See, it's pulling it through the syringe and it's priming the pump. Put that back in the tank. I always do this 2 times just to make sure there's no air in it. If you didn't mix this with water, there's no way you could do this. It would never, it's just way too thick, so that's got to be diluted with water. So I got that primed. Gonna close this back up. Tuck that back in there. And so I'm gonna run this manually just to pump some down into the valve down here that goes into the, or the injection valve that goes into the main line of the irrigation. So now that we got everything primed up, I'm just going to tell you how to figure the rate out on this particular pump. So what you do is you take the gallons you want to pump through it and divide that by the total hours run time that your irrigation is going to run. So I've got 5.5 gallons of solution, and I'm going to run that, my irrigation 6.5 hours. So 5.5 divided by 6.5, and this pump pumps 1.5 gallons per hour. So you take 5.5 divided by 6.5 total run time, then you divide that by 1.5, and that'll give you the setting for this dial right here. So, and that's it. I mean, that's all there are to it. Sorry I've covered this again, but somebody wanted to see it, and I thought you might like to see something that I really believe in, that I run through my fertigation system. As I mentioned before, this whole system, I think it was $675 to the door. I did have to buy the tank, but you can also pump this. You don't have to have a tank. You can take a 2.5 gallon jug of whatever you want and pump it out of a jug. So, I mean, personally, I think this is the ticket. And I think this has actually helped my yard a lot. So, as always, I appreciate you watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share. And we will see you in the next video. Thanks.